BSB eliminates the competition once again. I love Brandon Senior Black so much, and I think their routine is really entertaining. So when you take that entertainment factor, that technique, that cleanliness, and that difficulty, and you wrap it up into one, you get Brandon Senior Black. Or a Stingrays team, or something like that, I don't know. Brandon Senior Black is definitely, in my opinion, the cleanest team in their division. They were in first place day 1 and day 2. I'm not sure if they hit both days. I don't think they hit on day 1, and I think they hit on day 2, but Cheersport champions of the small co-ed division, they had a 98.4 on day 1, and I believe I think they still had a 98 point something on day 2, so I'm not 110% sure. All I know is, if Brandon keeps doing what they're doing, they're getting a 3-peat, and all you haters can suck on that. That really makes me think, why do so many people hate Brandon? After flopping so many years at Worlds, this team has finally made a comeback, and the minute they make a comeback, Smollett starts flopping. Everyone was like so happy for them in 2016, and then when they go back to back, there's just so many negative things being said about them, and I'm not understanding. Like, you may not find their routine interesting, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. Smollett, between the years of 2012 and 2014, damn near put out the same routine every year with slight changes in it. And half the time I found them boring. But you wanna know something? They were clean and they were difficult, and that's exactly why they won. Now that Brandon pulls the clean and difficult card without the performance factor, they're just getting so much freaking hate. Everyone's like, Prodigy should have won, Prodigy should have won, Prodigy should have won. Prodigy was really good, and I feel like they get downplayed a lot at these competitions, just like they did in 2016 when they came third to 2020. No offense to 2020. It's not that I don't like them. It's just, I'm sorry, Prodigy had it and they didn't. They should have placed above 2020. The hate for Brandon is just unreal. And when they get that 3-peat, y'all can keep on hating. It's not a problem when Smollett does it, but it's a problem when Brandon does it. Moving on. Diamonds tied with Top Dog on day 2 as far as raw score. I think they both had a 97.3. I might be way off. They tied with Top Dog, but I think they had a mistake, so they knocked them to third. They knocked them to third, and they end up losing to Top Dog. I got a glimpse of their routine today, and I just want to let them know I got my eyes on you from this point forward. This is why you don't sleep on small teams, because they end up bringing the shit to the floor, and your faves end up at the bottom looking real stupid, wondering how they lost to a small name Jim. You don't sleep on anybody. That's the thing about cheerleading. Anything can happen on any given day, especially the ways that these raw scores fluctuate from day 1 to day 2. You never know. Top Dog, I have my eyes on you. Congratulations on second place, and congratulations to Brandon. Moving on. Large Senior. I'm finna talk about Senior Elite. Senior Elite had a hit routine on day 1 with the 96.93. So they went in first after day 1, and then after day 2, they had a 97.20. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this about Senior Elite. Congratulations on being Cheersport champions. They haven't won it since like 2010 or 2011 or something like that. Senior Elite has one of the most popular elite sessions of the season. There is no reason why these girls are going up and with loose libs, bent legs, everyone's pulling scales at different times. Then on the second section, everyone's legs are differently when they flip over. There's no reason you should have loose lips. A lot of them are amazing athletes and amazing flyers. However, there's no reason you should have a bent leg and a loose lip and your double around. I know it's an opposite double around, so a lot of people aren't used to spinning in that direction and standing on that leg, but there's no reason y'all should be tight. Even when they do the second double around, everyone's scales are being pulled at different parts. So I really hope NCAA next week, those girls are tight. They have to be. Orange. My poor orange face. Orange. What the hell is going on with Orange? I don't like the changes Orange made to their elite. I don't like it at all. I'm so upset that they took out the Kick Scorpions. and then they took out the low to high 360 that they never even added in. In my opinion, it's less difficult. They didn't hit either days. I really hope Roger and the Orange coaches, all of them, decide something needs to be done about that elite sequence. It needs more. There's not enough. Now, Orange has always been a competitor in their division. Between winning Worlds in 2014, having the highest raw score on both days in 2015, having the best and most difficult routine, and having the highest raw score in 2016, that's 2 falls, and still grabbed second place and lost by 0.1. That says a lot about a team. To have 2 falls and to still get second place and lose by 0.1, that says a lot about them. Orange has world-class grade A coaches. So what they're putting out on the floor, I have no idea what's going on. But the reason I feel like they should go small, it might add that exclusiveness back to them, and it'll give them a chance to focus on a more well-rounded team with more talented athletes. And that may sound kind of selfish, but Orange is the most decorated team to ever attend Worlds with 8 world titles. You want to beat her, you got to work for it. Large co-ed. TGLC flopped on day 1, and they flopped bad. They had 3 falls, and after seeing the score sheet, I had anxiety. They had 3 falls, they got knocked down in 4th place, and had the second highest raw score in the division. They had a 98.13 on day 1, and then on day 2, they had a 99.27. That is less than a point away from a perfect score. They had a tumbling bust, and they had something I would consider an early dismount or a bobble, but Cheer Updates calls it a fall. It was hardly a fall. By the time the girl actually came down, everybody else was already coming down. So I'd consider that an early dismount or a bobble. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. And even I hate when people say this, but once TGLC hits, it's over for you. TGLC is gonna be just like last year. They don't, to the point where they have to hit to win. They don't have any room for mistakes, or they're gonna cost themselves the title. Congratulations to TGLC on 2nd place, and congratulations to Steel for walking away as Cheersport National Champions. They had 2 flawless routines on both days. Not only were those performances flawless, they were crisp, clean. Steel is always clean. Steel has always been a top contender in their division, and that will never change. They are super consistent. My thing about everybody is, I'm not sure if there was I'm not sure if there's a TGLC hate train or a TGLC hate group that was made, but the amount of negativity that has been surrounding them these last few days is disgustingly high. Now, I understand their uniforms. Yes, their uniforms, they're ugly. They were hideous on the model. I'm not even gonna lie. When they were shown, they were disgustingly hideous. And now they look so much better on the athletes. And they look great on the floor. And people are upset because everybody's having a change of heart about the uniforms. Same was with Cheetah's. Cheetah's uniform is so freaking ugly, but then when we seen it on one of the athletes, it looked amazing on her. So you can't be upset with people for having a change of heart. It all depends on how they look on the actual athletes and how they look while they're competing inside of the uniforms. When you continue to go on and on and on about it, it's starting to look more so like you just don't like them, and now you're just looking for something to nitpick at. I don't consider everybody that has something to say bad about a team or anything, I don't consider that person or those people haters. But after a certain while, it really makes you think you really look like a hater. Then with their 99.27 finals raw score, now people are questioning. I don't see how it was that high. Oh, this and this and this and that. What you have to understand is they had three falls on this day with a 98. You have to see the differences in the performances that were put out on day 1 and day 2, because day 2 was way better. So of course their score is gonna go up. It went up by a little over a point. Like, are you serious? We've seen teams' raw scores go up 4 points and go down 3 points and all that other stuff, all these drastic changes. So now you're really starting to be curious about this and this and that. We all know if you have a mistake and you don't hit, your technique score is going to go down. That is very obvious. But when you have that many mistakes with a 98, you need to think. You honestly think they need to hit for a 99? Well, I'm just going to tell you this now. Like I said, after you start complaining about a certain team, after a while, especially a team that gives your ass the Beyonce treatment, as in they don't respond to negativity, they don't feed into foolishness, and they don't give off negativity. When a team started giving you treatment like that, yet you continue to have bad things to say about them, you start looking like a jealous hater. And I can see why a lot of people would hate on TGLC. People are so upset that this team is known for so much. Another thing that people have really been talking about, that they've been going on and on and on and on and on about, is crowd support. Now I'm going to explain something to all of you. Crowd support is not a damn privilege. When people pay to get in that competition, they could pay to get in that competition and not look at you at all. They have the right to do that because they paid to get in there. Please stop blaming the crowd for your team having mistakes. Please stop saying, put your phone down, pay attention. Back in the day cheerleading was definitely better back in the day. But if I want to sit there and record with my phone, I would damn well do that. And if you can't see, say something. Y'all find every single excuse to have a problem with somebody recording. Let me explain something. Varsity did not say you can't record. The video rule is pertaining to people posting videos from a varsity competition and monetizing that video. You cannot post any video from any competition for commercial gain. Cheer Central Sons, last year, I seen a video of them, and while they were performing, people were literally walking out and nobody was paying them any attention. But you wanna know what they did? They went on about their business and they performed for their coaches and for the judges. A crowd isn't the one getting deductions. A crowd isn't the one that needs to go out there and hit. Like I said, remember, a hype crowd is a privilege, not a right. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this video down. I cannot wait to NCA, TGLC, if any one of you athletes, alumni, coaches, any one of y'all, anybody that's affiliated with y'all, I know any of you in person that come across this video, you better freaking hit at NCA. Certain people get cocky, they don't know any respect, and they have no home training. So you need to get out there and you need to win, especially with that thing on the back of your uniform and the way your music is set up. You have to hit, because when you don't, you make y'all look really crazy. Y'all just need to go out there and perform. Because when y'all don't and y'all flop, I get anxiety. I really do. Like, I swear to God.